What is going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with a pretty important topic because it could very well impact the future of the game that we love, and as well what's going to be upcoming here in the next few months. And the timeliness of this has not been great, especially since yesterday I made a video actually on what we can expect towards the end of the year, obviously 2023, but as well as what we can preview for 2024. So hopefully it doesn't impact us, but it does look like there were some rumored Scopely layoffs. So I know Mobile Gamer already touched on it in his video. I'll link it below if you guys are interested in terms of just seeing it. But he's also reached out just to get some kind of confirmation from Cerebral. We'll see what happens there in terms of an update. But I mean, as far as what I can tell and dig up, I mean, these were just posts from Reddit that I'm hoping to share with you guys, and that way we can get some narrative on this. But as well, we're going to be discussing how this potentially would impact then the future of the game, given these potential layoffs that have occurred. So yeah, so huge credit to the Redditors that were obviously able to speak out on their behalf. Some of these were employees that worked there, and they weren't afraid to chime in, and that's kind of what I've gathered here today to go through it. But again, keep in mind, it's all hearsay. It could have been anyone just going on there, but I do feel like there is some truth of a slice of genuine messaging coming from them, and I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. So let's get right to it. So one of the posts was rumors true. Big Brass Dano snapped out about 40 people so far. Art took the biggest hit, and now the game will be kept afloat via outsourced skeleton crews. Not an employee, but friends with former ones. Okay, so friends with former ones, and obviously they got nothing to lose, right? And giving us a little bit of clarity, likely a fellow gamer, hence why they're commenting. But I'll also say, 40 people is quite a big amount of group, especially when you're thinking about how many it actually takes to be involved in QA and as well as art. I personally love the art in the game, so if this is definitely a department that took a hit, we will be likely seeing this impact the game going forward. So that's going to be something potentially to watch out for in these updates, is that if that does start, taking a hit on the quality, we'll know why. Honestly, they probably grew too big from the pandemic money, and now they're needing to lean out a bit. Yeah, I feel like that's partially true. You see the case here, actually anywhere when you just do a Google search of some businesses, right? I mean, if you look at the last few years, all the tech companies, definitely outgrew themselves during the pandemic, and now we're needing to lean signs and right that ship. So, could that be a possibility here? Absolutely. They could have assessed the the pros and cons of keeping said individuals and realized that they could get the same done with few people. The only thing I've been personally experiencing with that is that in those situations where layoffs occur for obviously improving and streamlining and obviously leaning up the crew, is that there are some additional bottlenecks now. There's some more capacity constraints that we didn't have before, more pressures on these individuals. So assuming the workload's the same, this could be creating a harder work lifestyle for those folks that have stayed and weren't laid off. So just something to be in the back of the mind in terms of just thinking about that, right? Those folks might need a break, and before, when they had an opportunity to take vacation with capacity, now they may not have that same situation presenting themselves because of the lack of people. We also had another big one here in terms of just someone that seems like they have had personal experience. So I wanted to post this here for you guys, but and it's good context for us as well. Apparently they opened up a studio in Mexico City. It was sort of telling, watching our tasks, concept art in my case, be slowly taken more and more by our outsources. Basically, they've reduced the team to a skeleton crew and replaced the rest with cheaper labor. Expect the quality to go down. So what we're assuming here and guessing is consistent with other posts, right? Which is kind of why it's scary and to assess this realistically, because it would mean that art, something that we've all really appreciated in this game, is going to take a hit, and that's something that's never usually frowned upon or criticized by many. The art is some of the best in the game, but as well as in the mobile gaming for Marvel, especially the cinematic. So definitely not. I hope that's not the case. I've been also involved in organizations where we've had downsizing because of this opportunity to outsource from India or Mexico. And not gonna lie, what they're saying here is accurate. Is that our quality of work did go down. and it resulted in more QA review from the folks that did reside in Canada or US, right? So just something to be mindful of. We could see this taking a hit, but then that would mean the senior QAs and whoever's reviewing would be getting additional workload for them, just having to make sure that this review is happening, especially if folks aren't native in English speaking. Now, it wasn't completely unexpected. They decimated our leadership over the course of the last few months. Okay, so we definitely caught rumblings of that. And there's been whisperings of cost cutting and therefore layoffs. It really became apparent when they started handing all of our tasks to Mexico City studio. It still stings regardless. I lasted 7 years from Aftershock, Fox Next, and through Disney, and now finally Scopely and Boundless. So this person sounds like they have a boatload of experience, and they've been through this through the ringer, but as well as this experience before. So again, adding to that, Mexico City, a studio that's taking away opportunities, right? And that's kind of why I think this is accurate. But we'll see how, like I said, how the updates will be. We'll let that speak for itself going forward. And then lastly, maybe somewhere from QA, but art was hit the hardest. All sorts of folks were laid off. I should know I was on the art team up until yesterday. I love making games for you guys. I took the comfort, despite your complaints. Y'all always at least like the art. Yeah, I would agree with that. So that's why, guys, like as scary as these news and updates are, it makes sense from a business standpoint, if they are just trying to cut costs and increase revenue. So we'll see how that looks in the upcoming events, because that's something I'll be watching out for now with this context. It's just interesting timing with how the content creators were essentially provided that summit, I think a week or two ago. And now we're hearing this news on these layoffs, right? And there hasn't been official confirmation from the business yet, but maybe there'll be more information in the future here. But yeah, I just wanted to have this conversation because I think it's important to understand the environment and to know kind of what's upcoming, right? And something for us to share here is that just to be on the watch for, let's see how these updates in the next few months are, and whether or not this is going to be related to that. So obviously having that is going to be important, especially if you want to see this game continue to grow and obviously be successful. This is not a step in the right direction. It could be if it's for the right reasons, but not from what we're hearing in terms of leading out, art taking a hit. That doesn't make sense when the art's always been, arguably the best aspect of the game, right? So, yeah, I'll keep you guys up to date if I hear anything. But as always, I appreciate hearing back from you folks. Let me know what you think. If you're a fellow worker and you want to speak out as well, just to provide your context, we'd really love to hear back. Thank you as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.